One lie ruined everything. My name is Emma, and I am 28 years old. For the past 2 years, I had been dating Michael, a 30-year-old man who was deeply religious and lived a righteous life. Michael's faith was the foundation of his identity, and he was very clear about his values from the beginning. He made it known that he wanted to be with someone who shared his commitment to purity. When I first met Michael, I was instantly drawn to his integrity and kindness. I wanted to be with him so badly that I made a decision that would eventually lead to my downfall. I lied about my past. I told him that I had never been in a relationship or had any sexual involvement, knowing that if he found out the truth, he would never give me a chance. I justified my lie by telling myself that the past didn't matter. What mattered was how much I loved him and how dedicated I was to our future together. For 2 years, Michael and I built what seemed to be a perfect relationship. We shared our dreams, supported each other, and grew closer every day. I thought I could keep my secret buried forever. But fate had other plans. One night, Michael went out with friends and, by coincidence, bumped into Jake, my ex-boyfriend. Our relationship had been public, so Jake recognized Michael immediately. They started talking, and as the night went on, Jake ended up drinking heavily. In his intoxicated state, Jake revealed that he had dated me for 3 years before Michael, and that we had been deeply involved romantically. Michael was blindsided. The next morning, he came home with a storm of emotions brewing inside him. He confronted me, his face a mix of hurt and anger. "Emma," he began, his voice shaking. "Jake told me everything last night. He said you two dated for 3 years and were intimate. You told me you had never been in a relationship before." I felt my heart drop. The lie I had carefully maintained for 2 years had crumbled. Tears welled up in my eyes as I admitted the truth. "Yes, Michael, it's true. I wasn't honest with you. I was afraid you'd leave me if you knew the truth." Michael's face hardened. "I can't believe you lied to me about something so important," he said. "I trusted you, Emma. How could you do this?" Despite my pleas and attempts to explain, Michael wouldn't hear reason. He told me it was over and left, leaving me alone with my guilt and despair. The guilt and shame were unbearable. I couldn't eat, sleep, or think clearly. I had lost the person I loved most in the world because of my own actions. The despair drove me to a dark place, and I began to have suicidal thoughts. I felt like I had nothing left to live for. My friends intervened and took me to the hospital, where I was admitted for severe depression. Despite therapy and medication, I couldn't shake the overwhelming sense of loss and guilt. The breakup had shattered my spirit, and I was unable to move forward. Every day felt like an insurmountable struggle. I had attempted suicide twice since the breakup and was constantly monitored by my friends and family to prevent another attempt. As I lay in the hospital bed, I replayed everything in my mind, wondering if Michael was the bad guy in this story. I couldn't blame him for his decision. He had every right to feel hurt and deceived. My lie had shattered the trust that was the foundation of our relationship. While his reaction was painful for me, it was a consequence of my actions and the lies I had told. Months passed, but my depression didn't lift. The weight of my actions and the loss of Michael haunted me day and night. I couldn't forgive myself for the deception, and the guilt consumed me. My life felt empty without Michael, and the future seemed bleak and uncertain. I had tried everything to recover, but nothing seemed to work. Michael's decision to leave me was based on his values and the betrayal he felt. He wasn't the bad guy. He was someone who had been deeply hurt by my dishonesty. As I continued to struggle with my depression and the consequences of my actions, I realized that trust is a fragile thing, easily broken and hard to rebuild. This experience has taught me the importance of honesty and the heavy price of deception. While I hope to one day find peace and possibly forgiveness from Michael, I know that I must first learn to forgive myself and live with the pain of my mistakes. Michael's pain and my subsequent actions are reminders of the complexity of human relationships and the need for truth and understanding above all else. The journey to healing is long and arduous, and I am still in the midst of it, struggling to find a way forward. My story serves as a cautionary tale of the devastating consequences of lies and the importance of living authentically, no matter how difficult it may seem.